Oh, what's up again, everybody? Connie G. Nolly Bean doing that vlog for 2020. Hell of a year to have a resolution. Yep. Okay. So, I just recorded a video and I went on a tangent about how to make LARP shields, how to make foam shields that are safe and easy to use and easy to make so that you can put your protest signs on them and stop projectiles from hitting you. Because, yeah, it's June 7th/8th, and protests are where we're at now. Yeah. If you don't know how I feel about that, there's two other videos we can talk about. It's actually, I feel like it should have happened a while back. We've been slowly losing our rights and slowly funding our police with minimal training and a bunch of weaponry. And it started back when 9/11 happened. We started funding our police stations, anti-terrorist acts, and just bad decisions all around. There's just so many bad decisions. So many bad decisions. Yeah. So I'm taking a minute because I did want to talk a little bit about some things that I've been personally doing for self-care, because during this time, and, you know, while everything is going on and while we're trying to continue to keep our hygiene up and everything else and stay at home as much as we can and all of those things, a lot of states are opening slowly but surely, with limited capacity to things and all that stuff, and who knows what's going to happen in the next few weeks. So, yeah. But some of the things that I've been doing, I started, okay, my skincare regimen, if you haven't watched some of my other videos, has not been fantastic. I'm just going to admit that right now. It has not been fantastic. It has not been good for me. And as I've been doing more and more makeup for special effects, for theater, for this and that and the other thing, for all of my LARPs, I was covering problems more and more and more and more rather than treating problems, if that makes any sense. And when you cover a problem, sometimes you highlight it more than you actually get rid of it. Like, so, I started to get into figuring out a skincare routine. So, a little bit about me. Back when I was 18, I wanted to be a Mary Kay rep before I figured out that they were horrible and toxic and robbed people of money. Because MLMs are awful. Predatory garbage. But I got into Mary Kay for a little while, but the thing is like they had these two different product lines. There was one that was called Velocity and another one that was Timewise. Timewise is like their tried and true, like everybody's grandma sold it at one point, and it was like the thing that everybody sold. And it made my skin break out so bad when I was 18, 19 years old, and I hated it. So then I found Velocity, and Velocity was really awesome because it was literally like a foam face wash and a gel moisturizer. Stuff that like now is commonplace but wasn't. Because, you know, this was almost 20 years ago. This was 19 years ago. Jesus, I'm old. So that wasn't commonplace then. You know, the varieties of things that you had back then were not that great. But my God, was it expensive, and I could not keep up with it, and especially when I stopped doing any sort of Mary Kay whatsoever, And, you know, your income's not that good when you're 18, 19 years old, even if you're working full time. I'm sorry, I have allergies and my God, my nose itched. Um, so I stopped using that and I just did like basic face washes. Sometimes I do like a cucumber peel mask, stuff like that. I was not seriously into taking care of my skin, which, you know, now that I look at it, it's been 19 years of just damage and probably not going to be able to fix all of it. I am seeing some good results. I know that I'm in a darker lighting right now, but in full daylight, I don't feel like I have to wear really anything, any makeup whatsoever. Whereas before, a lot of times when I'd look in the mirror, I'd be like, oh, I gotta at least put some eyeliner on or something. Jesus, I look like a freaking Sasquatch. But now that I've been taking care of my skin looks nicer, so I'm able to do that. And this is going into self-care too, because it's something that I can pattern my day around. Like, I can wake up, take care of a morning skin routine that doesn't take a million years. That was the other thing too, is because when I start going back to work, this can't take a million years. This needs to be something that I can do with a set schedule and still, like, take care of things and still do a priority thing. So, yeah. I can wake up, I can wash and moisturize and sunscreen, because that's all I do in the morning is wash, moisturize, sunscreen, because I wash my face right before I go to bed, which I just did. And that's when I do any treatments and any of that stuff in between washing and moisturizing. And I also like a fancy eye cream for nighttime that's like got snail and mucin in it, which has taken care of a lot of my dark circles. Which, if you look at my other videos, when I'm doing makeup and stuff, my dark circles are a lot more predominant. So, excuse me, I'm already, God, hair in my eye. I'm already starting to notice a difference, which is fantastic. It's been like a month since I started doing this. And so my first, today was kind of, because of everything that's going on in the world, and I've been pushing constantly to share information with people. I'm constantly either on Messenger or text message or something, giving people information on how to make LARP shields, which I just made a video on. Very briefly and very, like, you have to use your imagination for a lot of it. I honestly am thinking about just making a video with us doing a LARP shield so that everybody can see what I'm freaking talking about. But strap shields are a thing that you can add protest signs to, and that way you're not tiring your arms out and you can actually deflect rubber bullets from. So that's cool. I've been doing that pretty much constantly since the protests have started, since we saw that violence was happening, because one of the spare time hobbies that I do is foam sword fighting. So, and this is just a defensive thing. You're not bringing your foam sword with you, so you can't, you know, get in trouble for bringing something or hurting anybody with it. So, yeah, it's fine. So, yeah, just sharing recipes, talking to people about that kind of thing. Constantly trying to get that information out to people, get information out to where marches are, where protests are, where you can support creators, where you can support black shop owners, where you can support anybody whatsoever who has something to do with making a positive change. I already have anxiety, so it's gotten bad in the last couple of days, and I've tried really hard to, like, mitigate it, right? And I guess today was kind of just a deflation day where my body just gave up, and it was like, nope, you're done, bitch. Your hands hurt, everything's painful. You're done. You need to sit down and stop. And I still didn't. I still was sharing posts and stuff like that, but I didn't sleep at all very much last night. And then I slept like 3 hours earlier today, and then 2 hours just a few hours ago. You know, just an hour ago, I woke up from another nap. So my sleep schedule's all freaking crazy right this second because of my stress levels. But one of the things that I tried to definitely make sure that I was doing when I was doing the skincare thing, wrapping it back around, I promised you I would, was making it the steps incredibly easy for me to follow, so that if I needed to, or if I had a day like this, because I knew a day like this would eventually come, whether or not it was going to be like when I was doing a show, or a particular role play scene was going to be too much for me, or whatever it was going to be, my body eventually was going to be too stressed to handle a 17 regimen, add mists and all this stuff, regimen thing. So, I only washed my face once today. I only washed and moisturized my face once today. If you're going to do that, you want to do that at nighttime. Alright? I mean, if you do it in the morning and you don't have any energy at the end of the day, at least you did it, right? But if you're having a day like this and you feel like giving up on everything, the least you can do right before bed, just take a second and wash your face and slap that lotion on. I don't mean slap. You're not going to slap your face. That's bad. But, slap that lotion on, put a little bit of eye cream on if you feel like putting that third step in. A lot of moisturizers you can use for eye creams. You don't need an eye cream. It's nice. It's like a luxury. It's not a necessity. You could literally just do a 2-step process. It makes you feel a lot better. You smell nicer. You feel less depressed, right? You feel like you're actually doing something for yourself. Get your mind in that mode of, I'm taking care of myself and I'm relaxing. And even if I've not got anything else in the entire world under control, at least I washed my face once today, So that was what happened with me today. It's been stressful, and not stressful in a way like, OMG, woe is me, poor me. I don't want anybody to think that. If you think that that's what I'm talking about right now, then you're dumb. I'm stressed out because I'm worried for my friends. I'm worried for the people that are going out there on a regular basis, putting themselves out on the front lines. I can't do that all the time. Arthritis in my hands and hips tends to keep me from walking several miles at a time. It's part of the reason why I stopped doing that as an exercise routine for a while. But I mean, we still need information gatherers, which is why I'm doing that, right? I'm constantly scared about I'm constantly scared about people dying, and then I'm seeing it happen, right? I'm seeing people die right in front of me, right? We're seeing people die right in front of us. Literally. And the problem is that if we give up, then we'll lose all the footing we have, right? People are starting to listen. People are actually starting to do what's right. People are trying to adjust to taking care of the people like they need to. They're starting to. This is just the very, very beginning. This is not even close to where we need to be. We have so many systems about how to produce criminals, manufacture them, that we don't give the money to the places that need it, like education and social work and therapies and, things that would otherwise mitigate behaviors that are criminal. Rehabilitations, better, addiction programs. There's so many things right now that could replace a militarized police state. And we have the power. We have trained people in this country willing and able to step up and do stuff to take care of that gap. We just would have to pay them. We'd have to subsidize a lot of police work to people who are better trained to handle trauma situations. And we have to train our police better, you know? But anyway, I'm trying to stay out of that league of discussion because I could talk about that all day. But really, I want you to be able to take care of yourself at least a little bit, if nothing else. So I think in the next longer video that I do, I may bust out all of the different skincare stuff that I've been using. And I really do think that it's a good skincare program for anybody who has depression and anxiety and their emotions don't always want to work with physical maintenance and their body doesn't want to work with physical maintenance either, because that's another thing. I have to do a lot of mitigating hacks in order to make sure that everything is set up so that if I want to and my hands hurt as bad as they do or anything like that, I can just go do, and I'm not hunting through boxes and bags and unscrewing and rescrewing lids or doing anything that's going to really hurt my hands, because that would stop me from using a product too. We'll have to discuss that too, because there are some times where I have 3 jars that are like this that are harder for me to open than some of the other products, and so sometimes I don't use them because if my hands hurt too much, I don't want to open them, right? So show you how I mitigate that too. So but I love you, and I want you to keep fighting, and I want you to stay strong and healthy. And even if you think I don't know you, there are people out there that can hate for no reason whatsoever. So I'm just going to tell you I love you anytime that you watch my show. My show. I keep calling it my show. It's the Connie Show. No. Anybody who watches my videos, you should know that you're loved, right? You should know that you're appreciated, and anything that you do to make a difference, even if it's small or large, at least you're trying, right? At least you're putting that effort forward. Putting yourself out in the world and doing what you can to make it a better place. You deserve to feel well. You deserve to feel loved. Right now, those are things that are very difficult to feel. Feeling well because we have a deadly disease that's, just tearing through our nation. I mean, so many other countries are still closed, right? We didn't even close when they closed. We closed after they did, and they're still closed. And we just especially the state I live in, was 3 weeks. Oh, we're done. We have to open. Absolutely have to open. And Memorial Day hit, and now we're seeing hundreds of cases. Let's get the facts straight, by the way, that it's 9 to 14 days of gestation. So it's not the protests yet. We're not going to see the protest numbers until, what? A week out? We got about a week before we're going to start seeing the numbers for COVID with the protests. You have to be an incredibly desperate nation to know that there is a deadly disease out there that could kill you. But be so desperately done with seeing so many people die that you will risk your own life to go out and fight for it. Or at least the rights of your kids or whatever, right? You have to be. It's not like protesters are ignorant of the fact that there's an illness going on. Oh, they're very much aware of it. They're fighting despite of it. Because if not now, when? Anyways, I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys later. I hope you guys have a good night. Try and rest. Try and take care of yourself if you can. Be safe. Message me, comment down below if you have questions about stuff. If you want me to tackle a subject, please comment. Tell me something that you'd like me to do. Tell me something that you'd like me to talk about. I'm happy to. I don't know if my ramblings make a lot of sense after a while, but, hey, whatever. Maybe I'll reach somebody. All right. Have a good night, guys.